Hey guys, DJ here at GameTime Michigan, and right now I'm chatting with Brandon Miotke of the great dueling Miotke family. You like how he smiles when I say that? He knows.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're going to talk a little bit. He played a pretty spicy deck at Grand Prix Detroit, so we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about his history, because he's been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a while. So
Yeah.
you kind of want to cover like what got you into it, how long you've been playing, your tournament results, that kind of stuff, Brandon.
So what got me into Yu-Gi-Oh was my brother, back when I was around 3, his best friend, his mom was from Japan. She brought Yu-Gi-Oh cards back before they were in the U.S. She would translate the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And so then my brother would come home, talk nonsense and make up effects with my dad, and then I would watch and they would shoo me away. And I turned 5 and Yu-Gi-Oh started to become in English, and then just continued to play with my family.
It just kind of built up from there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then how long did you guys all play for? Because I know you're from the around here there was a big store called Pandemonium. You're the
Yeah.
Pandemonium era. And
So
did you take a break anywhere, or you kind of have been playing semi consistently all throughout from the 2000s up till now?
So I have played from competitively 2005 to now. I've played college soccer, so I kind of didn't really play a lot. It was more so I would do a regional, get my invite, go to nationals, play nationals. And that was really it for a good 6 years. But went to a few YCSs in the later 2010s, bubbled, have I think 6 regional tops, and I mean I won the Dragon Duel for Edison back when it was Edison, and won this mat when I was 7 in a regional. That I played Gravekeeper Monarchs with Dimension Fissure and Macrocosmos with DD Survivor and DD Scout Plane.
Props to you if you know what all those cards do without having to look them up. All right, so let's dive into this deck, and boy, do we have a spicy one. So how did you choose to play this deck today? Did you just have some dream or what? How did we get here?
So my friend Sebastian Sparks, who just judged at this GGP, I don't know how
Go Grand Prix Detroit.
yeah, go Grand
Yeah.
Prix. So last week he showed me his spell economics deck, and I was like, okay. So I went home, made it with my bulk. I was like, okay, trying to make this an FTK, make it consistent. Wasn't consistent. I was like, well, need to make this more consistent. So then made it just reasoning gate. Was like, okay, I kind of just lose if I go first because my opponent can just set up. So then I was moved on to Recruiter Chaos with XYZ, the monsters. And then I was like, you know what? I need a reliable FTK. So I changed to Empty Jar, and then you'll see in this deck how it kind of went to this variant of last turn. And so that's how I ended up on it. I was like, I feel like there's going to be Chaos, there's going to be Warrior. If people aren't playing Book of Moon, we're good.
Fair enough. Let's dive into that deck list.
So, 3 Zhaugen.
It pains my soul to see that card in any deck.
two Cyberstein, which I never drew or was able to get to until I was after 5,000 life points.
You never got to fire them off all day?
Dang. 2 Mystic Tomato. 1 Cyberjar, which...
That's a pretty looking Cyberjar over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then 1 Sangan, and then the card that actually was one of the best cards today was the Caterpillar Omen. It just gets you to last turn. Yeah, I mean, you can special summon off Mystic Tomato and then Book of Moon it. So it's really, people like to set cards. You flip Caterpillar Omen, put last turn on top, or Solemn if you need it, or even Wall, and then you play Upstart or one of your multiple cards that helps you draw, and you get to your, win condition. So, yeah, those are the monsters. For the spells, 3 Scapegoat, 3 Book of Moon, 3 Inspection, which isn't once per turn, 2 Upstart, 1 Pot, 1 Graceful, the Trinity, 1 Delinquent Duo, 1 Card Destruction, 1 Giant Trunade, 1 A Feather of the Phoenix, 1 Premature Burial, and 1 Heavy Storm. If you can't tell, so this, and this was all from the Empty Jar deck that I had built. And what I was going to do was I was going to play Empty Jar and then Smokescreen into last turn. But I decided last minute, I was like, I'd rather just go for consistency than trying to do anything with Empty Jar. So, traps, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. 3 Solemn Judgment, 3 Wall of Revealing Light, 2 last turn, and the scummiest card of them all, the self-destruct button, the reset button.
So, I gotta ask, how many draws did you have today?
So,
do you remember?
I know on stream I had 1 or 2. I think it was 1, and I even could have gone for a second one because I had Mystic Tomato out, and I had a feeling my opponent had Knight Assailant out, or set, and I had last turn set, Mystic Tomato out in attack position, and Wall set. And I was like, I could draw, or I could actually play the game and try to, win that game if I'm running into a Dekoichi. So I just took the gamble. I was like, might as well. And I ran into a Knight Assailant. He killed my... I drew, I think, 5 times today. It was 2 times first round. 2 times first round. My opponent, Trenton Gross, he was very annoyed because we were talking before the tournament, and he was even like, as long as I don't play against Rogue, plays against Rogue. And we drew the first game. I won the second game. We drew the third game. I won the fourth game. Okay, that is the main deck.
Yeah, so what spiciness awaits us in that side deck of yours?
The side deck.
I assume there's some spice.
Yes, there is. So, to start with 2 Fusler. This, you'll see, it's gotta go with Skill Drain.
Oh, God.
So, gotta go with Skill Drain, and then also, in order to facilitate the last warrior from another planet and King Dragoon, 2 Metamorphosis. The way I would have changed this deck, though, was I probably would have main decked these. Because when I was able to get to the last warrior from another planet much faster when I sided these in than with Cyberstein.
Okay, and your last warrior's like, you pretty much won every game he was on the board?
I got him out on the board once.
Ooh.
The entire day. And I think that's why the event did not go as well as I wish it would have. And then 2 Shining Angel, 2 Des Wombat, 1 Elephant Statue of Disaster for Mirror Match, 2 Trunade, since I main deck 1, it's for the Royal Decrees, and then 2 Hallowed Life Barrier, just in case people were side decking this, which no one was. So I would have just been better off not to side this and to put these in and probably side into Empty Jar more so then. Extra deck's pretty straightforward. It's 20 cards. It's 2 Master of Oz, 2 The Last Warrior from Another Planet, 2 Thousand Eyes, because Scapegoat facilitates Metamorphosis into Thousand Eyes. And then kind of just
all the standard good guys.
The standard good guys. 2 Fiend Skull Dragon.
Ooh.
And 2 King Dragoon. Because I can.
And even a Guardian Angel Joan.
Exactly. And so, really, the deck was good. I went 3-3. It was just frustrating because Book of Moon was very good because they would just chain book to the Jowgen. I didn't have the Solemn Judgment. And I didn't get to play this deck before at all.
So you were learning on the fly.
Yes.
Like round 1 was your play testing.
Yes, and I was 2-0, and when I got to round 3, I realized I lose to Night Assailant.
Oops.
So I would have put in non-aggression area instead.
Okay.
And
I bet you don't know what that one does without looking it up.
I probably would have cut the inspections because, yes, it got me to under 1,000, but doesn't help when your opponent has Book of Moon or Night Assailant. So I would have probably just gone for another way to facilitate this, or just big beat sticks that can actually wall while also beating my opponent.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
And what did you think about the event today?
The event was actually a lot of fun.
This was your first Go Grand Prix, right?
Yes. So haven't played GOAT that regularly. On DB ladder, I got to about 30. I think the highest I was 35th for GOAT. And then I was like, I'm staying up till 4 a.m. I don't want to do this anymore. So I was like, nope, just gonna focus on in real life Yu-Gi-Oh! Bubbled at YCS Indianapolis, going 6-3, losing last round. Oof. So I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between different formats, and I mean, this was fun. Yeah, what is good about this is that you actually get to see people, if you've been in the game for a long time, you get to see people that you grew up with. And that's, I mean, really, we're in it to win, but what makes the experience valuable is, and not draining too much, is spending time with people who you share a common interest with and have fun with. And that's the main thing. I play this game to have fun, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But as long as I don't make misplays, that's all I care about. Just playing optimally. That's all you can ask of yourself.
Yep. Yeah, some things are out of your control.
Exactly. Exactly.
So do you have any final thoughts or shout-outs or closing remarks before we wrap this up?
Yes, I would like to shout out, so my dad for questioning my deck choice last night, Chris McGarrett for beating me and then making top 8, Adam for winning, and Trenton for making top 8 as well. Yeah. And DJ.
Woo! That's me. I'm the guy behind the camera.
So yeah, those are my shout outs. And if you've never been to a Grand Prix, I recommend it. It's fun. Yes, it's long, but all higher tier Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments are long. So if you choose to go with an open mind. If you win, you win. If luck's involved, luck's involved. Just enjoy whatever is going on, and just, live in the moment, play against your opponent, smile, have fun.
Fair enough. That sounds like a good spot to end it on. I want to thank Brandon for sitting down with us and doing this deck profile, and it's a really awesome deck, so I'm really happy that I got to do this deck profile with you today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for playing at the Grand Prix. Have a good one.